Cancer, welcome back to the channel. This is for Cancer in relationship and or in separation from your person. This is for mid-January. Cancer in a relationship or in separation from their person. What you need to know. What you need to know, Cancer. If this resonates, please remember to like and subscribe. Only take what resonates. If it does not resonate, leave it behind. It is not a message for you at this time. We will be doing some clarifications. We'll see what's going on in your love life here. You'll have the Seven of Cups. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Hold on. So sorry. Let's start with the past of the relationship. So this could be your energy, your relationship's energy, and your person's all combined in one. You do have the Three of Arrows in the reverse. You have Dante and Beatrice, the Grace card, in the reverse position, and you have the Nine of Arrows. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So the arrows in this deck are the swords. So of course the Three of Arrows there, usually a card of loss, sorrow, and oversensitivity. Cancer, you are a sensitive sign, so that does kind of come into your life a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just have to focus on it a little bit more than others, because it can affect the relationships around you. It is in the reverse position though, so overindulging in grief for the sake of drama and a slow easing of sorrow. But it also means moving on, being stuck, and healing. So the Three of Swords hints that your period of heartbreak may be coming to an end if you let it. That doesn't mean the pain isn't there. It just might have lessened or shifted. Don't let overthinking or suppression of the situation prevent growth and healing. Grief has a way of dragging you down and making you settle, but try not to let that happen. Remember that after every fire, new life blooms. Number 17, Grace, Dante and Beatrice, is the Star card. Inspiration, hopes, and dreams, but we're in the reverse position. So sorry, Cancer. Not following your bliss, insecurity, feelings of unworthiness, ignoring intuition. So you may be coming out of a relationship or had come out of a relationship where there was a lot of red flags and you chose to ignore them because of insecurity, feeling unworthy, feeling like this is the best you can get, which of course is not the case, right? It's despair and disconnection and obliviousness. Now, I know in your general reading we have talked a lot about grief. You were going through quite a bit of a period of depression, or still are. You lost someone very close to you, so that is understandable, and that may have affected your judgment on other aspects of your life. So the Star indicates a loss or latent sense of faith or hope that settles in despair over the pain you've gone through recently. The Star encourages you to stand firm and trust that everything will work out. You've come through the fire and are stronger than ever. Have faith in yourself. Lastly, this card reverse could hint at obliviousness. Have you been missing or ignoring guiding signs? Your final card is the Nine of Arrows. In the reverse position. So sorry, guys. It's very cold. Got a little bit of a cold going through my house right now, and I'm just phlegmy. I've gotten actually the best of it, so to speak. So mine is just kind of congested and permanently congested. I also have an issue with my nose, so consistently this kind of happens to me in the mornings. So the Nine of Arrows is anxiety, unresolved issues, and insomnia. So there could be a lot of things in your past or even in your present, or even with your grief, your despair, your depression, that you're kind of just covering up. It does speak on the fact of the fading away of these worries, catharsis, understanding, and the ability to transform pain into strength. So you're kind of rising above your struggles and your issues. It also is relief, optimism, healing, and moving on. So because of this past relationship or your energy in this or what you've gone through or even your persons, you're moving forward. You are finally exiting a period of overwhelming pain. You've passed through the worst of it and can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Take a deep breath and move forward, bringing with you the lessons you've learned and leaving behind the panic that incapacitated you. Absolutely. That is a very beautiful past. We are always learning from our past, so that is good. For your energy, Cancer, you have the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. You have Penelope and Odysseus, the Justice card in the upright, and you have the King of Staves also in the upright. So the Seven of Cups is all about disillusion, or I'm sorry, illusion and indecision, temptation, delusion, being overwhelmed, over idealizing, and a lack of perspective. Sorry if you can hear my daughter. She is playing Sonic at this time and she's super excited. Choices, indecisiveness, fantasy. Allowing fantasies to influence how you view life, projecting onto others instead of seeing things as they truly are. When reversed, the Seven of Cups warns against being so taken with these many choices that you're overwhelmed with options and your mind runs away with potential outcomes. Be sure to remain grounded and take some deep breaths. Work on making up your mind based on realistic consideration of what could be ahead. We do have Justice, card number 11. That is in the upright position. So that is justice, truth, equity, fairness, and objectivity. You've been called to face your actions, and it is justice that will judge you. If you acted with fairness and honesty, then you should have no fear of. However, you've acted dishonestly and selfishly, the appropriate consequences can be levied. Perhaps you're considering the merit of a particular course of action, the pros and cons of a decision. If so, this card recommends you be like justice and remove emotions from the situation in order to make a fair choice. So if you're doing something out of resentment or hate or bitterness, it is most likely not the best choice for you. And sometimes we do act without thinking of that because sometimes emotions can take over, especially being an emotional and sensitive sign. Sometimes that can drive you to a decision that perhaps you're jumping into too fast. It also speaks on justice, wisdom, fairness, detachment. So in need for a more detached viewpoint of a troublesome situation. So detach yourself from a situation so that you can think clearly and objectively. Is this the right thing to do, or are you just jumping into things? Especially because you have done so much growth and you are coming out of a sad period in your life or a hard period in your life. You've come through a lot of struggles, Cancer. So make sure that you are not just delving too deep into your emotions, because that can be a problem as well. Let's go ahead and look at the King of Staves. To get a little bit better of a picture here. Of course, you know the situation. I do not. Oh, sorry again, guys. Confidence, mastery, and support. Dynamic, stable enthusiasm, the ability to bring ideas to fruition, creative inspiration, and help. The King of Staves also talks on leadership, vision, honor, and wisdom. The King of Wands isn't quick to judge. He wants to connect with others, understand them, and accept them for who they are, all while helping them see their full potential. He's a generous leader and an optimistic mentor who has attained mastery in his field and is eager to share his hard-earned wisdom with everyone. Like his counterpart, the Queen, he usually has a vast network of passionate connections to help on your journey. The King of Wands wants you to step into power and be a leader. The time is now. Stop waiting around. So the overall energy that I'm getting from you, Cancer, is that you are you do have many options to take. You may be kind of embarking on a new adventure with a relationship, with this relationship, I should say, which is excellent. Just make sure that you are being mindful, that you are thinking logically, as well as what you truly want, and you're not acting out of a place of bitterness or resentment or even desperation. Especially since, again, you are coming out of this energy of you are rising above it, and you are coming out stronger than you were before, but it is something that you should think on, especially if it's affecting others around you. For your person's energy, they have the 5 of arrows. They have balance, which is temperance, Venus and Vulcan. And we have the 2 of arrows. So this is your person. Their energy, it was the so sorry. 5 of arrows. Struggle, distrust, arguments, lack of trust that leads to conflict, possible defeat or feelings of defeat, the need for self-protection or caution, discomfort or struggle with a situation. Gosh, sorry guys. Ego, conflict, negativity, defeat, competition, and dejection. It heralds a conflict that includes major pain, frustration, humiliation, egoism in the mix. While conflict can be good to address what needs to be addressed, this particular confrontation is more detrimental than beneficial. If you're winning, ask yourself, is it worth it? Are you jeopardizing your dignity, your relationships, your reputation? In the end, is winning worth the collateral damage? In the future, keep in mind that not every argument needs to be a battle, and that vulnerability, compassion, and acquiescence are signs of maturity. Sorry, I cannot read or speak, obviously. I don't think that's how you say it, so where is what I want? Where's what I want? Where is what I want? That is 14. Temperance is a card of, balance in this deck. Balance, but it is temperance. Venus and Vulcan stand for harmony, self-control, equilibrium, and artistry. They are in the reverse position, though, so there's an imbalance, there's discomfort, there's an inability to find peace within or with others, and a lack of inspiration. It's imbalance, extremes, and realignment. When reversed, this card warns of severe extremes. Imbalance is the issue, usually due to overindulgence, ignoring feelings, or trying to force an issue. It's up to you. Either restore order or accept that what you're trying to actualize just won't come to pass. You then have the 2 of arrows, which 2s are always kind of a decision that needs to be made, or choices. So your 2 of arrows is peace, truce, and impasse. Understanding a difficult situation, balance attained, but eventually issues will have to be confronted, emotional control. Your 2 of arrows also stand for stalemate, or no, I'm sorry. Wrong spot. Indecision, pause, reflection, and introspection. The 2 of arrows brings with it a difficult choice. It could be that both options result in a no-win situation, or it could be that you truly don't know which path is the right one to take. Either way, the 2 of swords encourages you to pause and reflect. If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure, now's the time to meditate and ruminate what is ultimately the right choice for you. You may feel stuck, but sometimes when doing nothing is the best course of action. But sometimes. So just going off of that, your person does have a little bit of a balancing issue happening. Perhaps they are struggling with their own past traumas and their own past experiences, how somebody has made them feel. Sometimes when you have a run-in with a lot of bad experiences or bad relationships, bad family life, things like that, or even things that happened in your childhood, your family could be absolutely amazing, don't take me wrong, but it can kind of lead you into a path of, you're not confident and you're not sure of yourself and you're not, you don't love yourself, you don't and again, you're pouring from an empty cup. So here your person is struggling to balance that, to think logically or to not be too logical, but not be too emotional. They could be pouring a little too much as well, especially since there is an imbalance here. It could almost seem like things are happening too fast. It just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. At least that's the energy that I'm getting from this reading. And they have a decision on their mind waning here of what they want to do. So it could be kind of maybe you guys decided to move in together, or perhaps you're trying to take it to the next step, and these feelings are resurfacing from their past experiences. And of course, coming with these bigger decisions do come more conflicts, and they are going to have to decide whether those conflicts are worth fighting for, or their ego is more important than the love that they have with you. So far we don't have any big cards yet for the love, so we don't have like our Two of Cups, we don't have our Ten of Cups, our Nine of Cups, our Lover's card, but that does not mean that this is not your person. This does not mean that it's not a soulmate. It seems very budgeting to me. It seems like it's freshly blooming. It does feel like it's kind of moving fast, especially since we're coming out of a place of heartbreak. This could be for you and your person. Both of you have struggled. So it's also something to be aware of. You don't want a trauma bond because of this, right? Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm sorry, Cancer. Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything, but so we do have the Ten of Cups in the potential future of this relationship. We have the King of Cups in the future of this potential of this relationship, and we have the Ace of Cups as well. It is in the reverse position, but 3 cups here just pouring up from love. That's actually really exciting. This might be one of the happier readings that I have done, which is great. That's very exciting, Cancer. I just do feel like there is a bit of a need to slow down. Do what feels right for you, absolutely, but I do feel like some of this might be a little forced or a little too much. So let's go ahead and check out this future potential of this relationship here. So we do have the Ten of Cups. No, that you just so I can say this. You watched me deal these. I did not look at this deck. So Ten of Cups, joyful closer, fertility, happiness, and community, satisfying emotional life, abundance, deep emotional satisfaction, endurance in love relationships, expansion of family or friends in your community. So like you could be growing a family with this person, you could be moving up, you do have this happily ever after card. It's very exciting, it's very satisfying, you feel very loved, you're very abundant in this. There is a happiness, there's a contentment with this. We then have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is practical artistry, mastery, and emotional wisdom. It's learning from love relationships, ability to live up with some ideals, up to ideals and dreams, and emotional maturity, wisdom, and integrity, someone who symbolizes these forces. So this person does bring in this wonderful love for you. But then we have the Ace of Cups in the reversed, which is rejection of others' affection, creative blocks, disillusionment with love, and a sadness and melancholy. So you do have all this wonderful love coming in from this person, but there's almost like a pitfall, so to speak. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into this. So it might just be, coming out of a honeymoon phase almost, like, or as said, like you guys are taking a bigger step into something. So yes, there's going to be emotions and fears and anxieties and conflict, especially like, so you don't live together yet, you move in, you're going to be with this person 24/7 in all of your downtime. And sometimes that can really put the pressure on, so to speak. It's like heating the pot, right? So it starts to really kind of be like, oh, okay, well, I don't like that you snore. I don't, your feet smell, things like that. They start to kind of poke at you, all right? Little things that don't tend to bother you as much seem to start building up because you're not used to being with this person. You're not used to having your space kind of interfered with or consistently shared with someone. So, let's go ahead and continue. 10 of Cups is togetherness, love, connection, strong bonds, harmony, and support. It represents your thriving, happy family and this, the complete joy and peace you're experiencing, particularly within your relationships. You're surrounded by loved ones with whom you share a deep bond, and whether they're related by blood or chosen, they're your family. All of you are at a time in your lives when you truly appreciate and support one another, and these connections will only grow stronger. Whether this card shows up in a romantic reading, a personal reading, or a career-focused one, it usually indicates the same thing. You've found the thing that makes your soul sing, that completes you, your home. The King of Cups also states that you have diplomacy, emotional balance, calmness, and measure. It's all about emotionally being centered. He's the king of stability and healthy boundaries. In love, the King of Cups is someone who knows exactly who he is, what he wants, and how to show gratitude for it. In any setting, the King of Cups is a responsible figure who knows the heart's true wishes and fosters emotional and spiritual balance in order to achieve those aspirations. So, your person is struggling with that balance, but he will have the potential of being that person, or he or she, sorry. And let's just go ahead and check out that Ace of Cups, though. See, this is an interesting one because I don't want you to read too much into it and be like, oh, well, I'll help this last because I have this happily ever after, and then all of a sudden I have this disappointment. The Ace of Cups is disappointment, hopelessness, drain, and stunted growth. Again, I would just like to point out that you have this energy of kind of jumping the gun, and your person's balancing. So, like, it might just be a little hiccup in the road. It's not a, like, oh, it ends all. This card indicates that you may be feeling despondent and generally uninspired. This not only keeps you down, but also prohibits risk-taking and growth. If you're feeling drained or stunted, ruminate on what steps you can take to feel fulfilled again. Trust your intuition and tend to your heart. So, like, if something doesn't feel right, then you need to look into it, right? Or if red flags start popping up, you do not ignore them like you did in your past situation here. Hiccups happen. It could because you're both on, because you have, like, these 7 of Cups here. You have a little bit of an illusion happening, and your person has this balancing act going where it does seem like they do kind of come into themselves, but perhaps things get a little boring, a little complacent, a little like, okay, we don't do anything exciting, the spark's kind of fizzling out, things like that, especially after we take this huge step, and all of a sudden we're kind of going back to square one. I don't know if I want this, blah, 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 blah. These things happen. It's just best to clearly communicate. Don't get angry. Walk away if you need to. Take more space and time to meditate on these things or to calm down, especially because things can get heated pretty quickly. But it's not, a card to be like, well, throw in the towel. Or perhaps you start to have a little bit of self-doubts reemerge because of your past relationships. Things happen. Or, kind of you fall into that complacency of once you have somebody, you kind of stop trying, which could also be one of the issues, is your person thinks that you're okay, or that you're feeling good about this relationship, but they're not putting forth any effort anymore, so you kind of start being like, oh, okay, well, I guess that was nice while it lasted. The potential outcome for the relationship is the King of Arrows. He speaks on authority, responsibility, and detachment. It's a calm authority, integrity, a perfect understand. Oh, I'm sorry, but he is in the reverse position. Sorry. Placing too much trust in the intellect, being too critical, and there's an emotional detachment. So again, the energy that I'm getting is things seem to be hunky-dunky dory, and you kind of have this like, oh, well, I give them what they want, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. But there's an emotional detachment. There's a coldness. There's no more effort being put in because we already have our 10 of Cups, so we're fine now. We don't have to try. It's inner truth. It's a misuse of power and manipulation. This card signals authoritarianism. So your person, or you for this matter, this relationship could become very controlling. with a lack of boundaries, with a lack of love, with a feeling of complacency, a feeling of boring, and your past traumas not being healed. Moving too fast could cause the stagnation, or even the overwhelming, almost like too much has been taken off. So the king abuses his intellect and position of power in order to maintain authority and enact his plans. He goes from cool to cold-hearted, persuasive to manipulative. When you make decisions, be sure to maintain order and balance and have the best intentions at heart. So we're going to go ahead and pull on this. I don't want you to think that because of that, that's just a potential outcome for one, but it's also, as said, it feels like a blossoming relationship. It feels like a relationship that's going to the next level. Issues are bound to happen. Very interesting. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a person bringing an offering, or messages, or things like that. You have the King of Swords yet again, but in the upright position. That is the King of Arrows. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So there could also be an issue of financial or monetary or career getting in the way for either party for this relationship. So that's definitely something to kind of look out for. Let's go ahead and see here. So provision, productivity, conservatism, responsibility, and perfectionism. Just have something to kind of look out for in this case. So opportunities, hard work, and development. The hard work and wisdom necessary to create growth, seeking opportunities for development, taking care of the self on the material level, enjoying the pleasures associated with this. So sorry about that. So then you have the King of Swords yet again, which is speaking on, sorry if you can hear my daughter, she is in here with me right now. The King of Arrows, authority, responsibility, and detachment, a calm authority and integrity, perfect understanding, incisive intellect, high values that demand hard work. So again, hard work is being mentioned here. So this is something that will not come without effort, right? This will not get better without effort. It won't get through. You will have to face your conflicts. You will have to resolve issues, and you will have to put the work in for this relationship. So mental clarity, authority, truth, conviction, and rationality. He is the master of logic, rationality, and order. He is the ultimate authority on truth and discipline, always making intellect and fact-based decisions. He's immovable in his ways, the epitome of professionalism. He's truly calm, cool, calm, and calculated. We then have the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is all about nurture, provision, hard work, and pragmatism, and resourcefulness. So you guys could have a lot of work in the way of this, or it could be, just as said, putting in the work for your success to come through, so that we're not being imbalanced or overpowered, or having so much conflict that we're rising into. The Queen of Coins is fertility, prosperity, beauty, and generosity, creating prosperity and harmony, fertility, possibly parenthood, loyalty, warmth, and affection, and love. So you do have a really beautiful card coming in towards you. You could also be looking at starting a family faster than you guys thought you would. So these are things that you definitely want to look out for. With this person, let's go ahead. I don't feel like it's really necessary to pull on another love offer with this. If you would like to see love offers coming in for you, Cancer, go ahead and check out the singles, because this seems like a pretty successful relationship. So I just want to, wow, whoa. Let's go ahead, actually. I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle that. Adelaide? So sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Check out the singles. This seems like a pretty successful relationship. It has a little hiccup, but I don't feel like it's necessary to do a love offering with that. Since I got this guy shuffled here. Okay, yeah, all right. So, oh yeah, okay. So this is even kind of confirming. So we do have healing family issues here, healing past trauma, healing relationships, healing bonds, making sure you're not being bitter about something and acting out of spite. And just, taking that space, taking that time, whether you have that situation, that card does speak on parents. I think it's more than that. I think it's healing from any past trauma that you may have or that you may be holding on to. And if you do have family issues, it's definitely a good time to, especially with the space that you're putting in between. You do have true love. True love, this is a romance of a lifetime. So this person is a love. This is a strong connection coming in, or that you do have or will have. It says, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So there might be a couple of things that you don't like about this person, but that's something to grow with. It's something to expand on. Let them have their individuality. Do not control them. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So make sure that you are coming from a open communication, that you're being honest, that your integrities are set, and your intentions come with positive intentions. With the little hiccup, you do have the reconciliation card. You have someone from your past returning to your life. I feel like that could be the little hiccup in your relationship. You will reconcile over it. You will have that heart-to-heart conversation. You'll be open and honest with each other. And you do also have the wedding card. This situation involves wedding. So you could have even bigger step coming. Perhaps that's even the hiccup in the road, is this person proposes and you're like, whoa, we just moved in. Or perhaps you want it. Or perhaps your reconciliation could be with this past person that you have all this negative energy into, and that could also be with your Seven of Cups, where you do have these options. I would like to remind you, obviously you do have free will, but this person that you are currently with is a very good person, seemingly. So I would make sure that you do not fall prey to a narcissist who is lying to you about being changed or anything like that. I think you probably know that, but it's just something to keep an eye on. Oh, interesting. Okay, awesome. The person that you're currently with could also be your twin flame. You did get twin flame, yin, yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, and complementing each other. So you do have the twin flame card here, which would explain why you're... So you could be with your twin flame. You also got the chaser. So I'm not sure if this is them or you, but beware, since you are both working on things and you both have a past to work on, whether you are the chaser or your person is the chaser in this relationship, the chaser is codependent, or is in a codependent relationship, and they have a fear of abandonment issues. Again, this could be based off of your past. It's not always the case, but the chaser, when you're in a twin flame connection, you're like magnets is the best way that I've had it put, or heard it put on here. You won't come together because you're chasing. So automatically, if you're chasing something, they're going to run away in the opposite direction. So just be wary of that, especially if you do. Again, you do have the reconciliation card, so do not worry if a hiccup happens and you guys separate. It could just be to rebalance for your person and for you to continue healing, to remove options, to remove controlment issues, things like that. You do have Hand of Cards, which is taking a chance risk, being strategic, options, not showing your hand, and gambling. So you could be taking the risk with this person as well. And it's just a leap of faith that you have to do. Looking for Cancer in a relationship. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Your person could be an earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. They could also be a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Something to keep in mind. You do have distance. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Let's see if there's anything else for Cancer in here. I feel like distance could mean more so that is something that could come, especially since your person is seemingly pretty logical. There's a bit of a detachment there that might happen. It says date night, get ready to be wined and dined. So you do have a lovely day together, or perhaps even take it. Oh, wow. And then we have water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So your person could be a water sign with you, or they could just be talking about you. And then, of course, as said, this could be for a past person coming in. I don't know if it is for your person. I doubt it is. But you did just get liar, which is be careful of someone sneaky. They're could be coming in trying to trick you or ruin things for you, mess something up for you. Definitely something to take care on. Let's see if there's any messages for your person here. Don't know if we need all of these or not, but let's go ahead. You do have a bit of drama going on. I don't think that's from your person. I think that's from the overall situation, or it could be something that comes through. Your person ends up saying that they can't express themselves, or perhaps that is you, and so you're struggling to communicate your needs, which is also why the hiccup can happen. The passion I feel is overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this. So they might distance themselves because it's so much. They're scared of rejection, which it did speak of on that Ace of Cups. That could also be your energy as well. But then there's also don't put up with my bullshit. So make sure that you are setting your intentions and you're speaking to them, because they might do this to you. They might have this issue and you guys are going to have to confront it so that you can move forward. Awesome, Cancer. Thank you so much for being with us today. If it resonated with you, please remember to like and subscribe, or if you just enjoyed, check out your other content just in case. And thank you so much.